Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at a dual burner stove in a super compact size. This is new from BRS, the BRS 32. Let's check it out. Now, in the intro, I said it's new. This isn't new. It's been around for a while. New to me. And I gotta say, this thing's pretty cool. This is the BRS 32. It's a portable camping stove, foldable, adjustable. You can put it in its carry case. The interesting thing about this, and I left this box out here for just that reason, and we'll probably throw the box out, is it folds out into a 2-burner stove. I'm going to show you how it does that, but I thought it was pretty neat because when you think about it, when you're carrying a Coleman stove around, it's a big piece of machinery. You know, it's a big, green, huge thing that folds open, and, you know, it's a whole lot of stuff there. And with this, you could almost backpack a 2-burner stove. It's about 2.5 pounds, but you could still carry it. It's small, it's compact. For a car kit, especially in a smaller car, this thing is ideal. It is really, really cool. So the first thing I want to do to you is tell you a little bit about it. This has a movable windshield. Okay, so it can prevent wind getting, reducing the effectiveness of the stove. You can move the pieces in or out once you open it up. We'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, the coolest part about this is you can use this with anything you want as long as you have the adapters. This will work with butane, propane, isobutane, anything. All right, today we're just going to be using it with isobutane because I want to cook a meal on it and see how convenient it is to use. But let me open it up and show you. Now the case is rather unique. Let me give you a good look around the case. You can see there. So let's open it up and take a look at it. Getting it back in the case can be a little tricky, but once you learn how to do it, it's really, really simple. Pop this guy out. As you can see, it kind of is form-fitted in there. And this is your stove right here. Okay, that's the whole thing. You can see the 2 burners. Let's get the case out of the way here, and I'll show you how this opens. Now, my suggestion, after watching many videos on this, is to tell people not to yank the stove open because you'll end up bending these pieces here. But it just kind of slides open like that. Now, when I was talking about the burners and the windscreens, what you can do with this, especially if you're using larger pots, is pull them out a little bit like that. So each one sticks out a little bit, and it's more accommodated for a larger pot. This will also work with smaller ones, as we're going to find out today. I have this little titanium coffee press here that we're going to make some coffee with. So you can leave one side once large, one side small. I'm going to see if this will actually fit on there when I pull it out. Let's see. I pop that side out. Actually, it will. So that's it, fully set up. Pretty simple. The only thing you don't want to do is yank it and bend the sides. If you yank it open like an accordion, you're going to bend those sides out pretty bad. So this is really a unique design. Feels really, really sturdy. I mean, this stuff is super thick steel in the middle here. That thing is like really, really thick. This is kind of thinner, more like sheet metal, but that is really cool. Now the design of the preheating tube on this one, and if you notice it has 2 preheating tubes on it, is to preheat your gas to make it burn more efficiently. So when you're using this in cold weather, yes, I know isobutane stoves don't do the best in cold weather. However, this will work a little bit more efficiently because you have that preheat tube on each burner on either side. I don't know if you can see it on camera, so I'm going to bring it up. See the little tube there and there? Pretty simple. You do have independent control of your burners, so you can turn them on and off as you want. And again, any adapter, this will work with anything. We're going to use the regular valve on there, the Lindell, for a isobutane canister. Just the regular valve. We're going to try it out and see how it works. What I want to do today is make a little breakfast on it and see how it works and see how efficient it is and how easy it is to use. Now, this is not a barn-burning, super high output, fast stove. You're going to get a decent output from it, but, you know, more than enough to cook. I believe it's 1940 watts per burner, but it's not one of those, you know, boil your water in under 2 minutes type deals. It's a regular stove. It does simmer well. I have tried it. Matter of fact, in a previous video when I cooked something, I used it to cook it off camera. So it does work very, very well. So what I want to do is hook up the little valve to it and show you how it gets going, and then we'll try cooking on it. So I moved this a little bit closer so you guys can see what's going on, and I want to turn the burners on, but I also moved that around too. And it's pretty flexible. You can move this any way you want. I believe I'm hearing that one. Okay. Let's get this one going. So if I want to simmer right now, let's say I want to take this down to a simmer. Turn that one down too. You can get them down pretty low. They are simmering. So you can actually cook on this stove and not burn stuff and smoke it out the minute you put it on there, which is really nice. Kind of similar to a very good quality dual burner stove that you would use for camping. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my coffee on here and boil some water for coffee and make some steak and eggs and cheese on this side and see how well this performs as a cooking device. So the first thing I'm going to put on here is my coffee press. This is, I forget what this is. This is a Vescardo coffee press. I'm actually going to take the top off here because I want to burn my fingers when I'm pushing down with it. I know it'll take a little longer to boil, but I'm not in a race today. It's no big deal. Next up, we're going to be bringing out the food here. And I just got some scrambled eggs, some steak, cheese, and a little bit of butter from my pan, and some coffee for the coffee press. I'm going to put this pan on over here, and as you can see, this could probably use full-size pans from your home, which makes it extra convenient as an emergency stove. So we're just going to drop that on there and put a little butter in there, get the eggs going, and I'll bring you back once we have stuff really going over there. I do want to take this down to a bit of a simmer. I don't want it to go crazy and burn everything. There we go. Okay. All right, bring you back when we're starting to cook. All right, so the eggs are definitely ready. But actually, you know what? I'm going to put the meat in first. Put some steak in first because I want to brown it up a little bit. This is just leftovers from, gosh, a while back. So we're going to brown that up a little bit. Coffee's doing good. Again, if I wanted to put a lid on this, I could just unscrew this. But I'm not in a rush, and we got to cook the food anyway, so I just don't want to burn my hand once this gets hot and I'm pushing down on it. So far, I'm liking the stove. It's very easy to regulate. I got one side going low, got one side going high to boil my water as quickly as possible. It's not burning up the steak or anything. See? It's just kind of warming it up, really, because it's already cooked. So now we're going to throw the eggs in there. And these are just regular whole eggs. Not doing anything freeze-dried today. This is just a quick little breakfast. There we go. And we're just going to let that run and wait for the coffee to go. Once that's boiling, I'll show you how the coffee press works. Bring you back in a minute or two. All right, I'm going to dump the cheese in over here. I'm going to call that good. That's pretty much done. I can turn that off. And the water seems to be boiling well over here, so I'm going to turn that guy completely off. Water's going good over here, and this isn't hot, so I can pick it up. And get that off the foot there. And turn that guy off too. So very, very easy to use, cooked up very well. Just put about half of that in there. I like my coffee strong. I know some people are like, good Lord, how much coffee are you putting in there? Okay. With this, you're just going to press down. Let it sit for a little bit and kind of brew. Eggs are all done over here. A little bit of stuck to the pan, but that's mainly because it's a titanium pan. And no matter what you put in there, it's going to stick a little bit, I found. And there you go. So that is the stove as we have it. And I am actually really impressed with it. It's very unique. I think it's a great idea, especially if you don't want to be carrying around a bigger Coleman stove or a bigger two-burner type stove. Something like this is very simple, maybe for two people while camping out. Very, very easy to use. Not a problem at all. Let's see if I can get some coffee out of here now. And it folds up really, really nice. So I'm going to let this thing cool off. And I'm going to show you how to fold it up while I eat my breakfast. And I'll bring you back in a little bit. And we'll talk about putting it together. And I'll wrap up the video for you. Give you some final information. And I'll let you know the cost. Because the cost is really good compared to other two-burner stoves. So one of the benefits of it being a little cooler out here is this is done and cold and ready to be packed away. I'm going to show you how I do it. Of course, first you're going to disconnect the propane, the isobutane, whatever you're using. I just happen to use a bigger bottle of the isobutane today, but you can use any size, doesn't matter. Okay. Now I'm just going to push the sides back in like that, both sides, and literally that's it. You just pulled the thing closed. You're going to wrap this around so it fits back in the package, and I like to put it flush up against there, kind of like that, so it fits in there nice, and that's about it. It's that simple. Small, compact, easy to put away. Now, normally when you buy a bigger two-burner Coleman stove or even a cheap one, they're in the $100 range, $90 range. This is running for $59.99, for 60 bucks, okay? It is in my Amazon store. I will have a direct link down below to it if you don't want to go through the Amazon store. But it's really an impressive price for a dual burner stove, as most dual burners are a whole lot more expensive. Both the things can be controlled separately, both the burners. Really handy. You saw how quickly it heated up water. It does what you need it to do. You know, you don't necessarily always need a rocket stove that's going to heat up your cup of water for your Mountain House entree in under a minute. This thing you can actually cook on. It can simmer, which I really, really liked. So, all in all, very impressive. This consumes about 140 grams of gas per hour per burner. So each one, if you have both on, are about 140 grams of gas per hour. The item weight on the whole thing is 2.6 pounds. Expanded size, it's 16 inches by 7 inches by 3.74 inches. Storage size is going to be 11 inches by 2.55 inches by 3.47 inches tall. So compact, easy to use, nice carrying case. Again, I'm going to try to fit this in here on camera. I don't want to look silly if I can't get it right first time, but we're going to try and put it in here. The biggest thing is you got to make sure you put that hose away right. Now this is where it can be a little tricky. I'm sorry I'm not fully on camera there. But yeah, you just close it down like that, and you're going to run the zipper, and there'll be a little bit of a gap there. That's fine. And there you go. You're packed up for your next adventure. That easily, okay? And it does cool off fairly quick, because it's basically stainless steel and brass, and all that stuff cools off fairly rapidly. Very, very easy to use. So all in all, I think it's an awesome stove for the money. 60 bucks, I'm sorry, $59.99. 60 bucks. It will be in the link down below, as well as my Amazon store. If you're interested in something like this, I wouldn't say it's super light and backpacking size because it's 2.6 pounds. But if you are going out for the day, you're not going to be hiking 100 miles on the Appalachian Trail, you can stick this in a backpack and it really won't kill you. And the fact that it can run on so many different fuels is even cooler, because I do like the butane little canisters, the tubes, you know, like the spray cans. They look like little hairspray cans. I love those things because they're so much cheaper. Now, nothing's cheap anymore, but they're a whole lot cheaper than $9 for a can of $6 for a can of isobutane, and $9 for two, or $10 for two of the propane. So definitely cool. You get a couple of adapters with this thing. I've shown adapters all over the place, but you can see them all over Amazon. Just click the Amazon store. They're in my store. They're all over Amazon, even if you don't buy them from my store. They're everywhere, and they're inexpensive. It's funny because I see usually one or two of those type of adapters for whatever type of gas you want to use for stoves sell in my store every day. It's hysterical. Really, it's like, wow, video I made way back when I started doing Amazon and when I started doing YouTube is selling all those. So that's the thing. Like I said, link will be down below. Don't forget all our other links. It will be in my Amazon store as well if you're interested in checking it out. Even if not, just bookmark that link, shop with it as you would. We really appreciate when you do that. Don't forget our freeze-dried wholesalers link. That link's going to save you 15%. Okay, 15% on all your food orders. I have some content for them coming up soon, so I definitely want you to check it out. I put in a rather large order this month. I want to show you what we got, prepare some of it, show you how it works. So don't forget to check that out, and the link saves you 15%. Good time to get stocked up now before the chaos. Also, our My Patriot Supply link, that's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. Awesome deal this month, 3-month kit, $200 off on it. Also, if you check on that page, there is the Vesta heater on sale right now. That is that heater that uses the little chafing dish type heaters, the little gelled alcohol sterno type heaters, and that will give you a chance to use it and warm up about a 200 square foot area, or use it as a stove. And it's indoor safe. It's safe to use indoors. It has that fan, the Peltier fan in the back. It'll blow the heat out from the burners underneath. Great little system. You guys have seen me do the video on it just about a month ago. Awesome little deal on it as well. Our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget Thrive, folks. I notice a lot of people have been buying from Thrive, but they're my regulars. Don't forget to check it out. The food is amazing. Really, really good. Those are the 3 companies I trust with my preparedness and as far as food goes. And I hope you guys can enjoy them too. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.